When visiting New Orleans, our next guest fell in love with both the culture and its cuisine. Today's recipe is inspired by that trip. Chef Robert Landolphi is the author of 2 cookbooks, Gluten-Free Every Day and Quick Fix Gluten-Free, and joins us back on Connecticut Style. So you also have another cookbook in the works, right?
I do. It'll be out in January.
Pretty fun. Now, I know gluten-free cooking is kind of close to your heart.
It is. I live in a house. My wife was diagnosed gluten-free in the year 2000, and I also have 3 boys, and my 5-year-old is gluten-free. For a full-time job, I work at the University of Connecticut, and we have, I look at all the kids there as my kids, and we have hundreds of kids on the meal plan who have been diagnosed either gluten-free or gluten intolerant.
And I know a lot of people are almost doing it as a trend these days, it seems
True.
like.
There's those people that do it a trend because they just feel better by removing the wheat and gluten from their diet, and then there's those that, it's
need to do it.
a necessity, for them to live a healthy life.
All right, so what's on the menu today?
Have you ever been down to New Orleans?
I used to live in Louisiana,
You
actually.
did?
Yeah, about 4 hours north of New Orleans.
Food down there is fantastic.
It
it's
really
comfort.
is. It's not always so healthy, though.
We won't talk about that right now, okay? Well, actually, we're going to make this healthy. We'll talk about that. All right, so what we're going to do is, the first thing we got to do is we're going to do our polenta or our grits, which are the same exact thing. Okay, the only difference is some people say, well, I don't understand. What's the difference between cornmeal and polenta? The difference is cornmeal is actually the whole corn kernel, whereas polenta, the hull's removed. And the other difference is cornmeal is actually ground finer. Okay, so what we're going to do is we have here some chicken stock. We'll bring it up to a simmer. If you wanted to use vegetable stock, you can do that as well. We're going to put a little bit of cream in there, and we're going to put a little bit of butter in there. Okay?
All right.
Then what we're going to do is we're going to add our cornmeal. We're just going to put that right in there like that.
Okay.
And we're just going to mix that in. Okay, and this is almost just like cooking rice. Okay, so what happens is, we just bring this up to a boil, we lower it to a simmer, and then after about 15 minutes or so, it's just going to start to absorb, and it's going to look like this right here.
Oh, and it's done already.
You don't even have to put a lid on it. And what we're going to do now is we're going to put some cheese in it, because we want to flavor this up a little bit. What I chose today, this is an applewood smoked Gruyere. Gruyere cheese is actually a type of Swiss.
And it melts well, right?
It melts well. What's your favorite cheese, though?
I like a brie, I think.
Brie would work.
Okay.
Cheddar? Cheddar's better. You can put some cheddar in there. You can use some Havarti. Whatever your personal preference is, it will work with grits.
All right, so toss it in,
Toss that right in there and mix that in.
Okay.
And all you see is it's going to melt in there. It's going to make it nice and creamy. And you'll notice we didn't put any salt in this. And the reason we didn't put any salt in this is because a lot of times cheese tends to have a little bit of salt itself. So that's going to be the salt inside the grits.
Got it. Okay.
So that's perfect. You said you can't cook.
I'm trying.
Come right over here. Here's what we're going to do here. We're going to go to the main dish now. We're going to put a little bit of butter in there. And right here, I'm using andouille sausage. Okay? The difference here, though, this isn't pork. It's not beef. This is actually a organic Smart Chicken Andouille sausage, so it's got less fat, less calories. See, we're making it healthy. I told you.
Don't they use something like boudin down in New Orleans?
Yeah. And we're just going to get that going. And what you want to do is usually you just kind of cook that up, usually for about maybe 5 minutes, because you want to get that andouille sausage kind of caramelized on the edges. You want to bring the flavors out. Okay? Then what we would do is we're going to put some onion in there. And we're going to put some pepper. You can use any color pepper you want.
Oh, that's pretty, though.
I love colors. Okay, so I kind of chose red, yellow, orange going on, but if you want to throw some green in there, you can do that as well. I'm using sweet peppers, not hot peppers, because there's going to be plenty of heat already in this dish from the andouille sausage and from the Creole seasoning. Okay, and that's what I'm using right here. This is Creole seasoning. You can buy it in the store. If you don't have that, you can also use cayenne pepper.
That'll give it a kick.
Don't use a lot of cayenne pepper, though. Exactly. We're just going to put that on there, and we're just going to mix that up a little bit.
All right, so what are some of the other recipes we could find in your cookbook?
Well, if you go through the book, it actually covers a little bit of everything. There's chapters for appetizers, if you're looking for some onion rings or chicken wings or things like that. You can get into all different types of entrees, a lot of ethnic type dishes such as this dish right here, a lot of stir fries, and of course plenty of desserts. So if you're looking for brownies, you're looking for cakes, cannolis, things like that.
Oh, you can make all that gluten-free?
All that gluten-free.
That's awesome. Okay.
All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to take a little bit of white wine. We're going to put that in there, and we're deglazing our pan. We're basically getting all the little bits, all the flavor off the bottom of the pan. Let that cook a little bit. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go right in with our tomatoes. Now, here's what I'm using here. I'm using fire-roasted tomatoes. Okay, you can buy them right in the store. Look on the can. And the reason I'm using fire-roasted is because it adds like a nice smoky flavor to the dish. If you didn't have that, if you were, this is the summertime, you want to make this dish, go out to your garden, chop up some tomatoes. It will work beautiful in here. All right. So what we're going to do is that'll come up, that'll heat up a little bit, and then we got to put our shrimp in.
Sure.
What I suggest is using a medium shrimp to a large shrimp. Okay, if you use something too small, it's going to get lost in the dish.
Okay.
Okay, how do you know when shrimp is done?
They turn pink.
You got it.
All right.
Built-in timers. Okay, so we're just going to put that in there. We're going to
And it takes fairly quick.
It's fairly quick. Within a few minutes, they're going to turn pink, and you're going to be ready to go, okay? And what we're going to do here, we're going to put a little bit of parsley on this.
Oh, it smells great already.
And a little bit of green onion on top. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to let that simmer.
Okay.
Okay? And we'll come back over to here. Here's our grits. These look beautiful.
Oh, okay? Thank you. I'm going to take full
You
credit
did a
for
nice
them.
job, you know? You can go home and make your fiance grits today.
Oh, he'll appreciate that.
Okay,
Oh, it does
so
look great. Okay.
Does that look nice? So we're just going to put that right in there just like that. And then we're going to take this right here.
The finished product.
Finished product, and we're just going to go right over the top. Now, is that not heaven or what?
Yeah, that smells fantastic. We're going to be fighting over this in the studio, Robert.
Lots of great colors, lots of great flavors. Now,
right.
you'll notice I didn't put any salt in this dish at all because there's plenty of natural salt in the ingredients.
Very good. Well, we're going to dig in at the end of the show, and of course, we'll have the recipe over on WTNH.com. And the name of the cookbooks again are Gluten-Free Everyday and Quick Fix Gluten-Free. Very nice, Robert. Thanks again.
Thank you.
All right, up next, we will meet Connecticut's top youth volunteers and hear all about their inspiring programs when Connecticut Style returns. Don't go anywhere. Still a little sausage.